It's recording now. All right. So just like I said, I welcome you all to this training. So the two trainings, so I'm combining them together, and I'm sure you will benefit maximally from that. All right. Here are the things we'll be looking at. What is a geographic coordinate system? We have a number of them in different formats. So we look at those formats. Geo-Coordinate format conversion. How do you convert from one format to the other so that you can be able to make use of the coordinates? How do you locate your coordinate? That is the number 4 thing we'll be looking at. Then using Google Earth to view your location. Actually, you can use a number of software and app to actually view your location, but we're just going to, for the sake of this class, we'll be using Google Earth. Google Earth is a free software, just like you can see the name Google is from Google, that you can download. It doesn't consume too much. You can use it to do some basic GIS something. Okay. So with our location, there's a number of map or GIS service provider that we can capitalize on to get additional information on our location. And this information includes suburb, state, province, and country. So we don't exist in isolation. So we'll be looking at how we can be able to retrieve it. And also your location provides you with a lot of rich data, talking about schools, talking about the places of worship, talking about the medical center, hospital, police stations. So how do you get all those out? We also have the opportunity of looking at such as we commence. All right. So as we proceed, if you have any question, you can just let me know. All right. So we are starting with the first one. What is a geographic coordinate system? It's actually a geographic coordinate system is a reference system that allows every location in the world on this planet called Earth to be represented by numbers. And those numbers, for many of you that have had the opportunity of working with GIS data, they come in form of latitude and longitude. And when you are talking about latitude, it's just these lines, the parallel line that you can see on the globe. By the way, our world is like a globe, and you might have seen this being represented. So the lines that you see on the screen, the red one, they are actually showing you the latitude. The other one is the longitude. They are more or less vertical. You can see them on your screen there. So these are often be denoted using numbers. So where you are there is a number. We can be able to be able to locate you and be able to say this is where you actually you are in existence, right? So that's why when you find some people, they commit crime, they will normally wonder how did they know? They may be thinking because of committing that crime, they may be thinking, oh, they can't find me, look at where I am, I'm on top of this building, the tallest building in the world, nobody can find me. But with the equipment, with the gadgets, with the device that you are using, most especially in this age and age, people use cell phone. You can actually be located wherever you may be hiding, even anywhere in the world. So our work, our presentation is more about trying to get that useful information. And as we get those information about the latitude and the longitude, it also aids us as policy makers, as data science, as data scientists, rather to be in a kind of position to capitalize on that data, to augment whatever data we might have been given. Yeah, so that is quite advantageous. Yeah, so, and also you'll be in a big better position to be able to inform other people. All right. Like I was saying the other time, I said we have diverse geo-coordinate formats. Some of them, they come in form of degrees, minutes, and seconds. If you look at your screen, you will see the sign, the degree sign, and the minute sign, and also the second sign. So this is a kind of location. So if you look at your device, maybe you are using a GPS device, but I know most people use cell phone now. It may come in this format. It may come in degree, minute, and second. It may come in degrees and decimal. It may come in decimal degrees. This is this one that you'll be most conversant with. Like when they are giving you data, if you have participated maybe in a competition on cargo.com, also maybe on Cindy, you might have come across the decimal degrees. But other GPS devices, like I bought what's it called, a GPS device from Jami, that should be in 2009. I still have it. So it has all these funny degree, degree, minute, and seconds. All right. Okay. All right. So that is you can see, you can note the format. So if you find your device, so there's that tendency for you to say, oh, what kind of thing is this thing? I can't see the longitude and the latitude clearly. So there's a way of converting. Even such devices like my Jami allows me to convert from one format to the other. So even if you don't know how to do it, they give you this kind of data set. Maybe you are in a competition, there are ways of actually converting them. All right. Okay, so how do you do the conversion? The number one is that there's a number of websites that you can go that allow you to do the conversion. So you don't need to stress yourself and say, oh, what is I need to cram the formula. No, you just go to them, and lo and behold, you are able to do the conversion. Let me see. Let me try one of those ones that I've put on the screen. Let me see if I can try one of them. Okay. Okay, so I want to see the calculation. All right, you can see this one. It provides you the opportunity to enter the code. Say enter the degrees, minutes, seconds for the latitude. Enter the degree, minutes, seconds for the longitude. And once you do that, what is required, you get a solution. All right. So now we're going to try that. Let's go back and use this example that we have here. Okay. Let me go back once again. So I'm going to copy and put the values in this formula. So by the way, there's a number of them that you can patronize. Don't limit yourself to this one. You can use whichever one website you think you are comfortable with. All right, I've entered the first one. I'm going to enter the second one. All right, so you can see the result here. Let me zoom it so that you can see what I'm seeing better. All right, so that's the value, and if you check here, you can see it matches what you have here, 32,122, 3061. Let me go back to it. Okay. So the same way you can convert from this format, from the degree milliseconds to decimal, and you can convert from decimal degree to the other one. But this is the most popular one, you can see, for it has made it the number one. Okay. So apart from going to a website to be able to do the conversion, you can also do the manual. It's a simple mathematics. You want to convert to decimal degrees, you just say degrees, which is the values, the first value that you are given there, minutes divided by 60 plus seconds divided by 3,600, you will get the results. So your first assignment is, how do you convert back from this value, making degree milliseconds to be the subject of the formula? How can you convert back from this to this? That will be your number one example, your number one assignment rather. Okay, so apart from that, you can do your conversion using software, QGIS, ArcGIS, and even this manual conversion that I've talked about. You can use Microsoft Excel. You can do that in Python. You can use other software as the case may be. All right. So don't forget Now, how do you find your coordinates? So we want to make it something practical now. All right. So the first thing is to switch off your phone. I'm sure many of you are using Apple, others are using Google. So now to make practical what we have been learning, can you switch on your phone, please? Okay, if your phone is on, I will assume your phone is on. I want you to download this app. So I want you to know there are other apps as well that you can use, but this is just the one we are using for the sake of this lesson. So you can use other app as well. Okay, so download this app. Okay, some people are raising up their hands. You can say something. Mutala.
All right, sir.
Yes. Okay, it's Luyemi. Okay.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay, maybe Mutala should go first.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, that's nice. Please, if you don't mind, can you repeat that assignment, like the conversion assignment that you mentioned?
Okay, so okay, let me go back. Okay, the assignments, you see, okay, we have different formats here. So we've converted from degree minutes seconds to decimal degrees. So now I want you to convert back. Okay, so I want you to convert back this one, so that will be from, that means you are converting from decimal degree to minutes, to degree minutes and seconds. Is it clear? Okay.
No, it's clear.
Okay. All right. This is where we are. So, okay. Oluyemi, do you have any other thing? Any other question?
Yeah, sir, you were saying that we should put on our phone.
Uh-huh.
Like, is it the torchlight you mean, or I don't get?
No, I just say put on, so I will assume your phone is already on. So just go and
Okay.
download this app. You don't need to switch on your touchlight. So just go and can you see the name of the app? It's called My GS Coordinates.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, so you will need to download. Once you have downloaded it, just open it. All right. So maybe I should unmute. Okay. Uh, all right. If you have problem in getting your location, please let me know. So this particular app can work on the Apple on iPhone and also on Android phone, so it shouldn't be a problem. All right. So have you all gotten our location? So your result will be similar to what you see on the screen, the format, not necessarily the results, the values, but the format will be similar. So that's your IP. That's where you are. I want you to take time to just write that down. Write it down because we are going to do some kind of
Which one is the ID? We have lat, we have longitude, we have signal accuracy, and we have some
the lat.
values below the lat and long.
Okay, so what you need now is your latitude. Your latitude, just like I explained just now, you have your latitude can be in different formats, right? So you can see the first one is degree, is in decimal. You can see that. So write that down. Preferably, we are going to use that format.
Okay.
So we use decimal degrees.
Okay, sir.
So just you will see this one that I'm showing you on the screen now. Write it down. Those big values, they are bigger than the other ones. Don't use all those degree, minutes, seconds. You can even see that they're a bit cumbersome to. Yeah, just use the latitude and yeah. So just write down your latitude will come first, followed by your longitude. Okay, so now the next thing that's going to happen now is the installation of the Google Earth. It will not take too much of your hair time, so you can just go to Google. You can go to Google. If your browser allows you to type directly, you can type directly there. So what we need is Google Earth. You can download the Pro. The last time I checked, the Pro was free too. So download the Google Earth Pro. There's a link here for downloading it. Alright, you come here So just note your system. Is it 64 bit? Is it 32 bit? Is it Android you are using? It's now downloading. I'm not going to install, but it's very straightforward to restore. I'm sure many of you have been in the business of installing for a long time, so it shouldn't be a problem for you to do the installation. Okay, so it's asking me whether I want to run it or not here. But let me compare the format, the version that I have with the one. Maybe they have done any major updates. Uh, 7.32. Okay, it's the same version that I have. All right, so just like I said, it's not a big file, so you should be able to download that pretty fast. All right, I'm waiting for everybody to download. So if you have installed it, just raise up your hands. So using your what is it called, your Zoom, you can raise up. If you are done with the installation, just raise up your hand. So I want to carry everybody along, so I don't want to assume that so everybody is getting it and just to rush like that. Okay, Oluwatobi is done. Kidis is done. So if you are having problem, just let me know. All right, many people are. So raise up your hand. This
Right.
thing.
I'm yet to be able to download the Google Parts.
Okay.
Because
How big is it? Okay. So what about other people? So once you are done, just raise up your hand. All right. I don't want to leave some people behind.
Hello.
All right, Simeon. Okay, just raise up your hand.
I can't download it here.
Why? What's he saying? Okay, so for those that are struggling, so I'm going to.
I'm finding it difficult to download, actually. I don't know if there's a full version, but I'm on PC.
Okay, you are finding it difficult. All right, it's fine. Hey, and also your connection is a bit poor. All right, don't worry. What's going to happen is that I'm going to put it on in the Google something, in Basecamp for you to download, and also for those that are participating in the develop one, what do you call it, the project-based data training. I'm going to create access to the Google Cloud for you, so that if you have any restriction on your computer, so you can be able to work freely there. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right. So some people are finished. You can put down your hands. So now what's going to happen next is just to open the software. All right. So that's how the software looks like. It's called Google Earth. So what we are going to do now is so that's latitude that you have recorded. So what I want you to do is to type it. If you have already typed it on your computer, you can copy and paste, then put a comma in front. If yours has a negative number, a negative sign, don't remove the sign, type the sign along. Yeah. Okay, after you have done that, you can see the box where I'm typing mine. It's just right there. This is, you type, you put a comma. For those of you that have used Google Map on your computer, it's almost the same process. Okay. All right, I'm waiting for everybody to type. So that's just waiting. Okay, type. Everybody should be able to type something. If you are experiencing any problem, just let me know. Katler Hall, you can put your hand down now. Oh, good. And key this too. Oh, good. So it's only those that are having problem.
Sorry, sir. Excuse, sir.
Yes, you can ask your question.
Sir, is the Google Earth, is it for our phone or laptop?
On the laptop now, not on your phone. But it works on the phone too, but to be on the same page,
Yes.
use the one on
Okay.
use the one on your computer, please. Yeah, I should have clarified that. Sorry. It works on the phone, but for you to view better, I think it's better you use okay, I'm still waiting a bit.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
So I was just able to download mine now. It's trying to load. It's almost done.
Okay. All right, it's fine. Yeah, so all those problems will resolve it because you'll be able to get out. So we'll be able to do that later. All right, I think we are safe to progress now. All right, so I've entered my latitude and longitude. I will search now. I'm actually using the GIS coordinates that I show you as an example. If you can see my screen, you will see what has happened. That Geo-Coordinate is quite fictitious. So it has taken me to the water. So I'm in the midst of the ocean now. So every point in the world, so that's an important thing you need to note. So every point in the world has got its own address and is in form of these two numbers, latitude and longitude. So it has taken me there. So I will need to find another point now. Okay.
Sir, quick question, sir.
Yes.
Is it latitude first?
Yeah, it should be latitude first. Then you put a comma. But let me confirm first. Minus 26.
Yeah, it's latitude first.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so some of you have gotten your address right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's good. So I want to type my address, but I don't want to give you guys my full address, so I'm changing it a little so that I will not come to my house tomorrow and say we find you on the. Okay, let me see where it will take me to. Alright, it's bringing it to the top of the land now. Okay, where is that? Is it the middle of nowhere? Okay, I mean I'm on the land, maybe in a farm somewhere. That's not my location. I just adjusted it. So let me do like this. Let me add one to it. Maybe I'll be close to a place where human beings are living. Okay. All right. Here you go. There you go. You see. So this is actually a place, but this is not where I'm living. So it's just. All right. So you can play around. You see your location in real time. If you want to see the road, the actual building, you can drag this street view. Just drag it to the street. So it shows you the exact house. You can see the house that we are seeing using the area view. We can see the house. The house looks like it's for sale. You can see, but that's not my house. I can navigate.
How do you do that road?
Okay, so this is what we do. If you zoom in again to the map, or just go back and start from the beginning, just come here. You can double click on your address again so that it will take you back to the beginning.
That's a question.
Yes, you can ask your question.
What we're visualizing now is not live. Is it data or just
Oh, it's not live. No, it's what happens is that it's not a live picture like you are accessing a satellite. This is an image coming from what do you call it, from Google. So at times they take the picture, but if you want the real-time one, you can also get that as well. Yeah, if you look at this one, someone was asking how did I get to the script. So what you need to do is that just zoom in a bit, then you see one man here. You have to put your mouse cursor here. You see something like an icon of a person. It's the Google Street View. You drag it to the road in front of that house, then drop it there. It changes the format, so it changes to a true house. For many of you that are conversant with Google projects, what they do is that they have this Google car that does the recording, that takes the picture of this road. So the paints might have changed, everything might have changed, but it's the building. If you come to this place, you will still find this building there. Is it clear? So are you seeing your house there?
Yes, I can see.
All right. So do you want to show us the picture of your house?
Oh, sir.
No, I'm not showing you.
If you want to get the live one, how do you do that?
Okay, we can talk about that one. But you don't need the live one per se, because they are going to charge you for that. And also all the information that you need, basically, they are already here. But this one is different. It's a Google project. Yes, there's a, what do you call it? Let's see if I can Google something. Google camera car. They were using okay, let me show you what they actually use. Something like this. It goes about, can you see this car on my screen? It has a 360-degree camera. So it drives on the road, it takes the picture 360 degree. So that place, so it goes. So you have to look at, if you look at your map, even the one of your house, you will see a timeline. The last time Google came to that place to take the picture, you may not be around, but the Google was there to take the picture. So it has this camera that goes, so they drive this car up and down. So some of you might have maybe come across the car, but you may not know that, oh, that's what Google was using to take a picture of the place. You can see they come in different sizes and different, make they go everywhere. And also they use bicycle as well to take the place where people. All right. Okay, I think we can continue. All right. Hopefully we are making progress. All right, at least everybody knows his or her coordinates now. So if someone wants to visit you and say, oh, I don't know where you stay, and you say, oh, me too, I don't know the address, you can easily give them the code if you have access to it. Or you just wake up and you find yourself in the middle of nowhere, or maybe you were kidnapped and you are wondering where I am, and you have your phone, you can get your coordinates. Yeah. Okay, I think we can continue. So you see, so now what we are going to do now is we are going to use Jupyter Notebook. This one is going to be all right. So what is going to happen is that for those of you that have got the notebook, Jupyter Notebook, you can follow, because this one is a bit big. You need to install Anaconda to be able to. Those of you that don't have access to Jupyter Notebook, just follow. I'm still going to share the codes. I'm going to share the file as well. All right. Okay. And for those of you that don't know Python, just like I mentioned earlier on, you don't need to trouble yourself much about that, because what is going to happen is that I'm going to show you the code and I'm going to explain one or two things about that. Okay. All right, so with Jupyter Notebook is what we call IDE, Integrated Development Environment. It's not like the one you use for Java, the one you use for C# or C++. So what you should do, is like a front end. It's like a kind of studio that allows you to have access to the Python engine. All right. So, and this one is quite user friendly. You can make notes. It's web based. You can see my own is on the internet. I'm using the Edge internet. So what do I need to start with? I've got the code. I'm not going to be typing it because we are going to run late if I do that. So what I'm going to do is to give this thing a title. So with this Jupyter Notebook, this is when I'm saying cell, this box is what I'm referring to cell. Okay, the cell, it allows you to type in your code. For example, look at what I have here. Here is my code. It can perform other options, heading, markdown raw. So if I want heading, it will give me an idea. It says level 2. And also with the heading, you can also use markdown in as much you provide this code. If you look at my heading now, I'm starting with hash sign. So I'm retrieve your suburb, state, province, country. You can see what I'm doing there. All right. So I'm going to run it. This is the command for running. So it stays there. But if I run this one as a code, for example, if it's in a code format like this and I run it, okay, it works here. Why? Because this sign, this hash sign, is actually a comment. So when I'm running a code and this thing, it sees it, it takes it as a sign, so it's not going to penalize me. For example, if I remove this hash sign, it's going to throw me an error because it's expecting a code. Why is it expecting a code? Because there's a code here. So if I put it on markdown, it will not complain. It will take it as a code. All right, this is going to be my title. The more you type here, the lower your text becomes. So you can stop at this. That's the maximum it allows. So because this is what we are doing now, I'm going to make it like this. Okay. And with this, you can do a number of things. You can bring in an image. And for example, I have an image in my folder called image folder. I want to bring it. It allows me to be able to do that. Okay, if I run it now, it will show me an image. For those of you that know how to develop websites, that knows HTML, for many of you that know HTML, with this markdown, you can run most of the HTML code there. That's many of you. They said HTML is not a programming language, just a set of tags. So I know many of you know how to use HTML. So you can write your HTML. It will take it. For example, if I'm writing B now in this, it's only in the markdown it will work, by the way. If I write my code and I run it, it brings it like this. If I want it to be bold, just your HTML tag will do the magic. You know, this is B for in HTML. If you run it, you see, you can see it's bold now. I can even italicize it. I can break it to come to the second line. Like if I type BR, you see my code, it takes it to the second line. So that's one thing I like about the Jupyter Notebook. So I've not titled it here. You can also click here to title, to add your title. You can see it's becoming blue when I wanted to copy. It's by double clicking. Most of the things you need to do. If I want to edit the remove this picture or see the code, I just double click on it. It goes back to the way it was before. You can even add video in as much you can reference it. Yeah, you can do a number of interesting things. All right, let's go to our mission. Okay, so our step 1 is to load a number of Python module or Python packages. Maybe that's what you are used to. So that's the first thing we are going to do. Just like I said, you don't need to be concerned if you cannot type the way I'm typing. Just follow. So I'm going to share the code with you later. So that shouldn't be a big deal. All right, so I've loaded. So now I need to type in the codes to load. All right, so if I type this. Okay, one thing you must know, it's showing me asterisks now. Each time you see asterisks, it's telling you to wait. So just like those of you that know how Windows says wait, so that means I have to wait until this asterisk goes away. At times it may be hanging, so what I just need to do is just to come to kernel and just restart. So in this case now it's not hanging. So I've loaded pandas. Pandas is a package in Python that allows you to do a number of data management related kind of activity. So that's what we basically use pandas for. This TQL is more of a functionality to show me progress. So for example, I'm doing something, it's able to tell me that, oh, I have 2 minutes left. Instead of just seeing asterisks, you know that something is going on, but you don't know to what extent. It's very useful. Okay, so I'm going to load another set of module. This one will allow me to do location related kind of activities. Okay, all right. So here are the codes. So you can learn more about them. So it's just GeoPy kind of code. So what people do with Python is that, so we have people that are writing codes. We call them modules or packages to make life easier for others. For example, all this calculation that I was talking about, the manual calculation, some people might have written a code to do the calculation for you. So what you just do is just come and run the function and everything runs smoothly. Yeah. So this geocoder is to be able to access a kind of the platform where the geocodes or the geocodes attributes like state, country are stored. And this one is to access the OSM. OSM is OpenStreetMap. So this one is accessing the OpenStreet one. Okay. So we are going to our one of our major steps now. Our second step is step number 2. Now that we are done with the loading of the steps, what are we expected to do now? So we will just want to see how this thing works for just a single location. So we want to get the data for a single location. And how do we go about doing that? Okay, there's a comment in here that you actually need an internet connection, because this, when you are doing this, so because some of you will be complaining that, oh, I ran into this error while I was running it or something like that. So if you don't have internet connection, this one will not work. So if you have your location, you enter it like this. So the latitude coming first, followed by the longitude, and if you enter it, it's not something that is difficult to confirm whether you are doing it the right way or not. What you just need to do is to go to your Google Earth. If you enter it the wrong way and you find yourself in America, you find yourself maybe in Italy or in Canada, you know, or in the water. Most times when you make a mistake, it takes you to the water or to the desert, to all these funny places. So you'll be able to know and say, oh, I'm lost here. Okay. All right. So now from this, you'll be able to, so what I'm saying now is that if you see that the geolocator reverse is related to this module, so without this geolocator, something that I've created here, this one may not work. So they are linked. At times it will tell you that you have not defined something, so it will complain for those of you that are new to Python. Okay, so I'm going to say location reverse. So I'm storing the results here. You will not see anything until I now query and now decide to view the results. Okay, All right, so what is my results? How do I view my results? I just type location raw. So you can look at it now. It's giving me all the information about this geolocation. All right. Okay. So now your assignment is, what you are going to do is that about your place, you will not need to give me all the information about the area. You may exclude your latitude and longitude for the sake of privacy. Maybe you don't want us to know where you are living exactly. You can exclude that, but your assignment, number 2 assignment, I want you to give me information about all these things about your place of residence. Like, I want to know which county, which town, which state. So in some countries, like in South Africa, we don't use state, we use province. So, and Western Cape is one of the provinces. So the county is like a municipality. In the US they use county, but in South Africa people use municipality. In Nigeria I think they use local government. I'm not sure of Kenya. I don't know. Who is from Kenya? Who can tell us what, if you are from Kenya, can you tell us what you use there? You can unmute your microphone. So what do you use in Kenya? I know South Africa is municipality. Okay. Okay, you can tell us. You can unmute your... So in Kenya...
Use county.
Oh, use county. Okay, all right. So that's good. That's good. All right. Kidist, do you want to tell us what you use in Ethiopia?
I think you say capital city.
Like your local government.
The local, I don't know. I don't really know.
Okay. Do you have words there? Like, okay. Your government, your system of government. Which one is the first one? Do you have a state there?
I'm from.
Okay, someone. Okay, so we know that in South Africa is municipality, in Nigeria is local government, in Kenya is county. So Kidis is trying to tell us the... Okay, so which other country is represented? Can you tell us something? You can just unmute and tell us.
Can I ask something?
Yes, which country are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
Okay, tell us about South Africa.
No. Yeah, South Africa. Yeah, like all you said, like is correct about South Africa. Yeah, but I meant to ask something that is like related to this one.
Okay.
That I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I was working on a project like this, and like I use the same logic that you've used. Like using the raw location and then like index the dictionary using the key. When it comes to index, to index the value. Of the dictionary. Yeah. But then, like sometimes it would get the place, but then like it won't give me like the city, like for instance, so like in those cases, like what would you do?
All right, we are still, it's like you are very much ahead of us. All right, so we are still going there. So what the question is trying to ask is that at times for some of the values, you discover they are missing, but the values that are missing is usually at the lower level. Like in country, you will not have country problem with country. You will not have problem with states or with the county or maybe with the town. But as we begin to go down, you may have problem. And also what you should know, Temba, is that apart from OSM, Google also provides similar information. We are not going to use Google. They have an API that you call to be able to get, and their own format is also different. There's a number of other organizations that provide similar service. So what I will do if I'm in your case is that if I don't find the value from one service provider, maybe OpenStreetMap, what I will go is I will try Google API. If Google is not working, maybe I can try Baidu or try all these other organizations that provide the so that's what I will do. But we are still going to that. We encounter some of them as we continue. Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's continue. Okay, if you have a question, just raise up your hand. Okay, what about those from the Francophone countries? From the French-speaking countries, is it the same?
Well, after I live in South Africa, but I'm from Cameroon.
Oh, okay.
It's similar to what we do. A little bit similar to South Africa. We have provinces.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have municipality too.
Yeah, we have municipalities. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. Okay, you can say something. Okay, Kidist, have you got the name of yours now? You can unmute yourself and talk.
Hello, sir. I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, my question will take us a little bit back.
Okay.
It's something I've experienced, and I'm also experiencing it again now. So sometimes when I try to set out my address on Google Maps or maybe a friend's address, sometimes it gives me maybe a different building that is behind the particular building I'm going to. So like I've tried to locate a friend before using Google Map, and then Google Map took me to the streets behind his own house, and eventually we had to connect on phone. So I'm experiencing the same thing too now. I've been trying to navigate through myself, but I couldn't, so I decided to ask. So I inputted my long and lat, and then I noticed that it is taking me to a high-rising building that is at the street behind my own street.
Okay.
So how do I make Google, how do I get my exact long and lat such that I can send to a friend and say, okay, you can use this to locate my house to pay me a visit?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't mind sharing my long and lat so you can try it out for me.
All right. So what you need to do is that, you are trying to connect to the satellite. So if you are inside the house, you may need to go out. If you go out, you will see a better signal. You see. So, and also this software, the app that I asked you to download. So how much was your accuracy? How many meters? The last time you did?
1,400
meters.
1,000. Yes, 1,400 meters.
Yeah, so that means you are totally out of the. Yeah, so that's a long meter. So you just go out, try it and see, because mine is just 5 meters. So it gives you the level of accuracy. That means it's giving you a margin. It's just like in statistics, you have confidence interval. So when you use that app, it tells you okay, so I'm correct about where you are, but to this level of accuracy. So it gives you 5 meters. Mine is 5 meters. I don't know. maybe people that have better signal can be more than one, maybe close to 1 meter or so, or 10 meters. So, but the ideal thing is to go out to be, you can maybe use this app, or you can ask your colleague or your friend to use the same app, but you have to note the level of accuracy as well. Yeah. So with that, you'll be in a better position. And also, what you can also do is that you can use okay, Tess, do you have a question before? All right. So you can also use you have a question?
Okay, I'm really, really sorry.
Yes.
Yes, you can ask your question.
All right, sir. And concerning the
Oh, okay. Wait. Before you ask, Okpe, is it clear now? Oh,
Yes, it is. I'll go outside to take the.
yeah, take it. But you must know the number of meters. It matters. So that is your level of confidence in the results.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. Tess, you can ask.
okay, sir. I want to. All right, sir. If I have a data
Okay,
set,
sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
okay. If I have a data set, and then there is I want to get the local government. I have the coordinate. I have the address. How do I get the local government of those coordinates that are generated? In a data set, maybe like 7,000 or.
We are still going. We are still coming to that. Yes, we are still coming. Yeah, so we still get there. So that's why I've titled this one. So the other thing you can do, if you have Google Earth, okay, I'm still coming back to Okpe's question. Now, Tess, as we proceed, you will see the answer to your problem. Okay, so the other thing we can do, if for example, you know that your friend lives in this area, but you are using your GPS device, your phone, and it's not giving you a nice accuracy. So what you can do is to navigate like this. You can do this kind of area navigate and go to the house of that your friend and do something like this. Like if your friend lives here, you use this thing I'm using here and put it there. So the Google Earth will give you the exact location. If you look at here, you find and also you can, let me see, where do I normally see that thing now? So it will give you, if you go down here, it will give you the exact location of this person here. If you want to enter through the entrance, you can do something like this. But there's also a place where you can actually put the where do I normally get that thing on? I'm trying to pinpoint that. So you go and use the place marker, you place it here, so it will give you the information about this, about where the person is actually staying. So in this one, you don't need to do any kind of detection. You know the house, you just go there and say this is where the person, and you'll be able to get the thing. All right. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so
before we continue, sir, a quick additional question. So you might get to some remote location, probably Google hasn't covered such location, and then you notice that you suddenly get maybe out of, you can't continue with Google Maps, you just keep going. So I want to ask, is it possible that using what you mentioned now, I can get to a location outside Google Map and then add that location?
Yes,
or pin that location to Google Map.
Yes, you can do that.
And then Google Map can can get the rest of the journey, so that when next I'm going back to that same location, I can get it.
Yeah, so you can do that.
Is it possible?
Yeah, it's possible. Actually, that's my 2009 Jammy. I still have it there in my car. So what I normally do when I was still working with the University of the Witwatersrand, so the one of the research center there. So it's a rural area. So and there's a kind of what do you call it? A kind of little estates, like the houses they have built. So inside my big compound, so they don't have a map actually. It doesn't. So what happened is that I normally get the exact location using that device, just like it can tell me where I am. So what happened is that it draws its own line, like a kind of bluish kind of line, to map it for me and say, okay, it try to create the road. It draws you. I will see it's being drawn on the what do you call it, on the device. So it can do that. As much as you know your location, it will. Yeah. And just like I told you too, every point on this planet has its own address, even in the water. Yeah, it's only that the cell phone has made it easier. Even if you're in the waters, in the ocean. So if you can be able to get your GIS as well, your geolocation. All right. Okay. So what we have done.
Does this app work with the internet? What if I'm somewhere where I don't have access to internet?
No, they don't. They don't work with the internet. I don't know. It doesn't. What happens? Wait, what work with the internet is more of your map, like when they are getting real-time map. So this thing is actually working with the, what do you call it, the satellites. Like this thing now, if you switch off your internet, you will still be able to navigate, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, if you run out of data, you will discover that you can still navigate. But what happened is that Google may not be able to give you real-time information about maybe traffic, or maybe there's an accident, maybe there's a car on your way that is not moving. But it works with the satellites. Even that's my jammy. I don't buy any airtime, but once I switch it on, the lady inside the jammy will be talking, and yeah.
Hello, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Yeah, you can talk now.
Okay. I noticed that this phone, our Geo-Code is using OpenStreetMap.
Yes.
So, okay. Is there a way we can get data using Google API?
Yes, you can use Google API as well. But Google API may not provide it for you for free. Because you may need to switch on Google Cloud Platform, and they may be charging you for that. The last time I tried it, they were charging me for each call I made. So, and at the end of the day, send me bills and say you have to pay for this. I said, wow, I didn't know. I was just calling the API, calling. I said, okay, we've seen that you have been using our Google something, so it may not be free. And in comparison with Google API, I find this one very nice. Yeah. But there are others that you can use as well. But if you want to use Google and you can get free access, you can go ahead as well. All right. So from this result I have now, you can look at my screen. You can see that I have a number of data, but the address aspect, you can see what it has done to it. It has created something for me to be able to to get it. So, and that's what I've done here. I've called out the address from this entire result that I've got here. That means you can call these other ones as well. Okay, so we are still on viewing the results. Some have asked and say, okay, what about I have a big data set maybe something of 17,000 or 7,000 records, and I want to get information about them. So what do I do? So this step, we address that. So what do you do if you have such need? So here I will show you how you can get multiple data. Okay. All right, so we start by loading the data. For those of you that are new to Python and to Pandas, so I will show you how we normally load the data. All right, so what we normally do is we give the data a name. Like when we are opening, you put equal to the PD is referring to alias of pandas. So like you are saying AKA, you can see instead of using pandas in full and it take, so I can now use PD instead. So one interesting thing about Jupyter Notebook and Panda is that if you click on tab, if you type a dot and you type I type PD and I type tab, it will give me codes that I can, it will give me a kind of code that I can run, but I don't know why it's not giving me now. Let me open a fresh cell and do like this. All right, so that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so it gives me all the other things that I can run in addition to that. So I want to read file. You can see I can read clipboard. That means whatever you copy on your clipboard, it can read a CSV file. That's what we'll be reading. Excel and other type of data, HDF, Hadoop data frame, HTML, JSON, all those things. All right, but we are only interested in reading CSV file. I'm going to copy the code because of time. All right, so I'm loading this data. I got it from Cindy website. Is the Sarah Uber data, is the train data. So if you, I'm going to put it where you can download, but you can also get it okay, from the website of Cindy. So now the data is already stored in that GeoData. So what I just need to do, I want to view the top 5 records. So what do I need to do? I just say GeoData add. It will give me the top 5 records. I can also do the opposite of add, which is tail. You can see I'm getting the ones down there. All right, so if I go back to add, you can see I have about 50,000 plus of data. All right, you can see my index. This line is index. Whenever you are reading something from Panda, it shows it to you. Okay, and and Python can start counting from 0, not from 1. All right, so what we want to do next is to check the number of records, how many records we have. So if you want to know the number of records, you can just do print. It gives you information on the number of record, 53,000. Okay. Okay. So now we want to reduce the number of records. You must note about getting this additional information is the fact that you are accessing a server. You are making a request each time I run something like this. I'm making a request to a server. That's why I said the other time you need internet access to be able to work. So now the implication of that is that if you send too many requests to the server, it may time out because you are actually troubling their website and they don't know what you are actually doing, so they time it out. And most websites does that to prevent spam. There was a time I went to Cargo, I was downloading their previous data set, downloading, storing it. Then it got a time he shut me out and said, then I wrote them and say, what was the problem? They told me that you were making too many requests on their server, and they've already programmed something into that server to reject if people are interacting too much, like downloading two things like that on their website. So the same thing with this one. If you download too many, it may throw you out. Okay, so number 3 assignment is this. You are going to make your data set. You are going to use the entire data set, and you need to report when it actually times out, when the server stop your request. So once you stop your request, it will send you a message. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to send 10 requests. I've been sending requests since morning, so I'm going to send 10 requests, and in order to do that, I'm going to reduce this 53,000 plus data to 10. So this head that I create here, you can actually put values. So if you want 10 heads, you put values here, it gives it to you. Let us try it. I'm going to type in 10 here. It's not allowing me to type anything. I don't know why. All right. So it's not. Don't worry about that for now. I don't know why, but all right. I'm getting 10 records. I want to confirm the number. It's actually 10. I can also view the records, and it's telling me if I view the records, I only have 10. This is 0. I told you the other time, you start counting from that number. Okay, so I've got 10 records now. So someone has asked a question and said, okay, what about if I have 7,000 or 70,000 records? How do I go about doing this kind of something? All right, so we want to send all these requests to the server so that we can be able to get the information. Okay, so that is step 3B. So how do we achieve that? We start by creating a function. Here's the function we are going to use to do the okay, let me type in the question here. This is the function that will do the magic. Okay, so this is actually the name of the function. It's going to get the information on the row. This is what we are sending to it. This is what we wanted to get from the location row. All right. Now it's time for us to now go to the server and to retrieve the information. So I will soon be done. Yeah, so for those of you that are already running out of data or running out of time, so I'm doing the recording. When we are done, I will package the recording and forward it to you, or put it on Basecamp or on YouTube. Alright, so I'm just calling this function here, get Suburb. Here I'm sending it the latitude and this one to get. So here I'm showing the progress. So remember that TQDM. So it's serving its purpose here. Oh, it's going to complain because I've not run this one. Alright, so this is very handy when you are doing something like this, because if you are deriving data for 50,000 something, if it will allow you, you need to be able to know at very point in time how many has it downloaded, how many has it to receive. Alright, so I've done for the 10 now. So it's time for us to view our results.
Sorry to figure out what's the difference between the progress apply function and the apply one?
Progress apply?
Yeah, and because I usually use the apply function, and then I'm saying we are using like the progress apply. What's the difference? I've never seen.
So I'm just getting the information on the progress. Does your own also, it shows you, does it show you something like this as well? When you use apply?
No.
What does it show you when you use
it doesn't show me anything, it just gives me the result that I want.
Alright, so this progress apply, it comes to with this TQDM. Are you also using TQDM?
Sorry?
No. Okay, so the major difference is that this one is associated with the, what do you call it, the TQDM. The one you may be using may just be part of just Python or Panda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you want to see it like this, you need to start by installing this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I also used to use the apply, but you don't find something like this. So until someone suggested this method, I think it was actually one of your colleagues, I don't know whether it's around this worry that actually went to do research and came out with this one, and it's been quite handy, and it is quite relevant for this kind of something, because the challenge is that you'll be kept in the dark. Like you don't know, you know that something is working, but you don't actually know what is working, so you just wait there and be open. Okay, so now what we did here, we got information on the address. We asked it to create what is a column. You can see the name of the column here. All right. Okay, so I want to bring out the column by itself. Okay, but the problem is that it's being truncated here. So I can run this panda function to allow us to view everything. Okay, hopefully it will allow us to view everything. Let's see. Okay, you are seeing everything now. So for each record, you see you have road, you have but in this format you'll not be able to see clearly, so but just be patient. We get to a place where you will see. All right. All right, so let's see how the result will look like if we view it just for this top record. So I'm viewing just for this first record here. All right, you can see it is the same thing here. You can see Cape Town, South Africa. So for the first one, is giving it to us in this way. So now you want to manipulate further. What can you use? First thing you want to know if you want to do data conversion is to check which data type are you using. one thing you must know is that Python has a number of data type. So let me run I'm going to say check the type. If I copy all this, okay, let me do type. If I type like this and open a bracket and I put these values inside, I want to check the actual type so that I will know the kind of conversion that I can use. There's something missing here. So it's telling me is dict. Dict in Python actually stands for dictionary. Okay, so if I go to Google, let me search now. I'm going to say data type in Python. Okay, I'm going to type here data type in Python. Let me go to images. It will show you the different type that we have got. Okay, let's open this so that everyone can be able to see it better. Alright, you can see that Python has numeric, it has dictionary, it has boolean, it has other type, tuple, list. But the one we have now is a dictionary. It abbreviated it here. Alright, so what do we need to do next? So what we want to do is that we want to turn the dictionary to columns. So we want to find columns now. So what is going to happen is that road will be a column, suburb and the like. All right, so this is the apply that you are Temba, right? The guy that said he was using apply. Your name is Temba,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, let's have.
All right. All right. So this is the apply you are talking about. It comes with this panda. Yeah. So it was used earlier on, but you won't see any progress. All right, so see what has happened here. So what we have succeeded in doing is to split this data. You see road N1. So it's easier for us to read, and it is something that we have been relating with, you know, when you save this one as CSV. So it's not something that is cumbersome to handle. All right. So like the question that someone was asking, I think it was Temba that was asking the question, that you may run into a situation whereby for some column you have complete data. So, and I was answering the other time that at the higher level, country level, the data will be complete, state it will be country, but when you get to village area, so in Python when you see none, it means null or missing values. You see at the village level, and it's understandable. If you go to Cape Town and you find yourself in Bevel and you find it, they don't have villages there. So Cape Town, although they say it's Cape Town, is actually a city, a very big city, one of the biggest city in Africa. So if you go to a Cape Town, and most especially in this municipality, there's no village there. So the program is right for making it null. But for you as an analyst, a data scientist, you are wondering, for this one I should have a value. So but it's not giving you a value because the village doesn't exist there. So that's where you will have problem. And if you look at the way I've put the title, I say retrieving the suburb, the state, province, country. So apart from that, you can get additional data. You can get the name of the road. You can see these are the name of the roads: N1, N2, Hospital Bend, Settlers Way. So you can get information on the suburb, and to a greater extent, those are usually correct because they have city. And some that are not city, you can see the opposite of the village here. The village, the city, you don't in a village, the place that they call village, at times you don't expect to see a city in a village. So at times, yeah, what is giving you is right. But now, if you are doing as a data scientist, you want to augment your data. If I were you, I will go, and we did this when we were doing the UBA Sanra competition. So what we had to do is to look for data. I want to see people join. Okay, at the level of county, at the level of town, not town, I think suburb, if I remember correctly, county. So we are looking for our interest was just on the most complete, the one that we know will give us a kind of information, like the road. It's a road-based kind of competition, so road will be useful in that context. All right, we have got the data now. We have succeeded in splitting the dictionary. So what do we need to do next? We just need to select the columns of interest. As far as we are concerned, villages, that column is incomplete, so we don't need to select it. Even for our data analysis, it may not be all that useful. All right. All right, so we are selecting, which one should we select? We are selecting the road, is complete, the suburb, the town in this context, not complete. Let's take out town. You can see Kaelisha there, Somerset, Bevu, under town. All right, we only have these 4 columns. So what do we need to do then next? One thing you will realize now is that it has removed our original data, part of our original data. Look at it. Before, we used to have event ID, course, latitude and longitude. You can see those values, those columns are missing, so we need to bring them down. So how do we do that? We need to merge the data. So we need to merge our new data with the old one, the reduced one. Okay, so that's what we are going to do right about now. So that we can have something complete. All right, so we don't have, like those of you that are used to SQL and have been merging data using pandas and the like, what you will ask for is that you will have common features, common columns of variable that can use in merging this my data. In this context, they don't exist. So what you capitalize on is this index column. It's like a kind of invisible virtual column, but we can capitalize on it to merge. But if you are the type that have been making a lot of modification, maybe splitting, reducing your data, cutting here and there, you may run into problem if you use index. So what you need to do first is to reset your index. And how do you reset your index? Let me give you the code. So this code here, you can actually use it to reset your index. We are not going to use it in this context, but you can use it to reset your index. All right, so we want to join based on index. From the way we are looking at it, you can see nothing has happened to the index. It's like they go 0, 1, whatever. So we're going to merge together now and look at the top 4 records. Yeah, it's not much. Instead of looking for the top 4, why can't we just look at everything? This is instead of using head and tail, this is another way of selecting your records. You can specify, I want to select from 2 to 10. All right, so I've selected all. So I've kept this address to be able to cross-check whether our index is doing the right thing. It's a good practice. Okay, so this one is N2 Cape Town. You can see that. So by doing that, we have our full data set. And once we have our full data set, what do we do next? We can save it. So what can we name it? Let's just say saving Yes, you can ask a question.
You just said now that you use the address to confirm if it's doing the right thing. So imagine it's a large data set. How do you confirm it's doing the right thing?
How do you confirm? Number one, if you have cut your data set, you are merging, you are reducing the original data set, you have to reset it. So use this command. What you are resetting is the index, right? So that it will be 0, 1, 1, 1. Before you come to this stage of which stage now? Before you come here of sending your request. So make sure you've done a proper reset of the index before you do anything. If you do the reset here, so everything will match. But if you have been cutting, you don't do a proper reset and you take data and there's another reset here, it's not going to match. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And also,
Yes,
another thing you can do is that you can actually turn the reset to a column. There's a way of doing it. You can Google, you can check on Stack Overflow. You can turn this column so that you will be able to merge nicely. Okay. All right. Who was asking that question? What's your name again?
I'm Richie.
Oh, Richie. Okay. And Richie, you have to use the correct email because, well, if you are on Basecamp, you are safe. It's only that if you use a wrong email, you may not be getting the notification. Okay. All right. I think our time is exactly 7 p.m. when we say it was. I think we have to stop here for now.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, is it possible for us to have a different data type from dictionary in one table? Maybe you have dictionary and we have some other data types on one table. Now, converting it into this format that we use to convert the dictionary into the CSV file. Is it possible for us to work with that kind of different data type on a single table?
Yeah, in a single table, normally you have different types, isn't it? For example, you may have, if I do info now, you have the text data, you have integer and the like. So, but you are talking about a situation whereby you have tuple, list, and so you have to undo them one at a time. So, for example, now you see what I did here. I just work on the address. On the address only. So you don't go into a situation whereby you are working on the tuple and working on them simultaneously. You may run into problems. But if you know how to manage it, if you're an advanced person, user of Python, you may be able to do that. But to make things easier and not to be too complicated for yourself and for those that will be looking at your code, So it's advisable you do it this way.
Okay.
Yeah. So any other question? Okay, so
Is it possible that these addresses can be wrong? Like I've seen a situation whereby it was wrong. Like how do you then correct it? Is there another way or manually?
The address. Yeah, it depends on what you want to do about the extra information you are gathering. Normally, when you are looking for this data, you are looking for the aggregate data, the data that will tell you about the suburb, about the local government. You are not actually looking for the address of somebody. So if you are doing that kind of analysis, except you are dealing with something that you need to use the exact location. Yeah. So I've not run into that. Yeah, so but just like Okweoluwa was saying the other time, so you can run into that problem if the tool they use, the margin of error is too high. So when I use that GPS coordinate app, is giving me 5 meter distance. If someone is using a different instrument or is collecting where the signal is very low, you may run into that problem. That's a possibility. But in this context now, or maybe you can share with me later with the one you had a problem with. Yeah. And also what you must also note is that we have different, apart from the OSM, OpenStreetMap, we have the other maps that you can use as well. Yes.
Okay, sir. So I will share with you.
Oh, you will share with me, all right. But don't share the 50,000 with me, just maybe 1 or 2.
No.
All right.
Hello, sir. I have a quick question.
Okay.
So, you taught us how to get addresses from latter and long. If you want to do the reverse, a reverse geocode, if we have addresses, a lot of them, and we want to get long and lat from it, I would appreciate if you show that to us maybe in the next class.
All right. Yeah, so that one, that one also is a possibility. Yeah, so what she's asking is that if you have information on the address and you want to, yeah, so that one is also a possibility, but it depends. There's that tendency because of the using the. Okay, we'll see how when we get to that bridge. We'll see how. Yes, I think I remember. Oh, to do a kind of reverse something. All right.
Yes,
at what level did you do it?
I use just like this method. Just like this method, but I use the Chrome driver to extract the.
So what I'm asking, did you use actual names?
Yes, the actual address. Yes.
Okay. At what level? Is it at the exact street address or at the level of the road or the suburb?
No, just the street address.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so thank you, sir, for mentioning that, because when we did something a similar project, when I worked on a similar project, when my team worked on a similar project, some addresses, it gave them the lat and long at the level of LGA, like suburb.
Okay.
So for some people gave, but we needed point location, we needed point lat and long, like at most at the level of street, or even at the level of house address.
Okay.
Yes, like point location.
All right. Yeah, it depends on.
Richard and I can talk later.
Both of you.
It would be nice if we can use Python as against using Google API.
Yeah, so that was. Yeah. So what Richie is talking about can be done So, but it depends on your area. So, Richie, you are based in Ghana, right?
No, Nigeria.
Oh, you are based in Nigeria. So it depends on that area, how organized it is. If it's the place that the number nicely and the number is correct, you may not run into a problem. You can be able to do that quite all right. But if it's an area that everywhere is scattered, the number is scattered, maybe it's a slum, you may run into problem. That means you have to do a lot of data cleaning. So for the Uber something, what we did was to use the Suburb. So Suburb to just get the information on the area. We didn't do it at the level of street. But I'm not saying that it's not possible. You can do it, but just like Okpe is saying now, your level of accuracy may not be correct, or you may need to do a lot of data cleaning. Like you have people that will need to put the address in the right format in which the OpenStreetMap will be able to understand. All right, any other question? In fact, that should be another assignment for you people. All right, so I may give you maybe part of the code for that. All right, so and all of you have got computers, so that's what is required. So I can share the code with you for doing a kind of reverse. So now you want to use a different, yes.
Just ask your question, please.
Yes, you can ask your question. Remember?
Yeah. Okay. You remember like the first question that I asked you, right? And then like you spoke about like the Google API. Which maybe like be able like to extract all of the information that we may use like from this one, right? So let's say for my case, right, I try to get like the addresses, specifically like the city of like the Geo-Coordinates, of places, right? But then I was unable to get the town and city, So what I would do, what I did in those cases, I use like a try and rate statement, right?
Okay.
All those like that have the city and town, like I managed to get them. But for those that didn't have the city name, I use like the raise exception error statement.
Okay.
So in terms of like the Google, in terms of the Google API, can I be able like to embed the Google API inside my code, whereby I'm saying, okay, if ever I'm not getting this one, like it should call you and then like run the Google API so that I can try to check from there. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, it's a possibility. But what I will recommend is that you see the way we have done it now. So you do it for Google like that. Then now you can now merge the two data together and say, use your conditional statement and say, if this one is null, put this one. If not, this one is available. But some of the missing records, they are legitimate. That's what there are places that are not villages. For example, now, you don't go to, maybe you are in Johannesburg and you are in Randburg and you say you are looking for a value for village. So you can't get village in Randburg. It's not possible. So what you can just do is just say, okay, maybe you just say village is equivalent to a town or to a suburb. You have to define that in whatever thing you are doing and say, okay, village. My village stands for town or village, you see. But you don't go to an urban area, a Santin, for example, and say, in Santin, I want a village. No, I say, even if you get a village from Santin, people will query you and say, what kind of analysis are you doing? In Santin, you find a village. No way. So that is the thing. Yeah. But what I will do is that I can compare. So I can use a proper database management like SQL Server. So I use SQL Server. I can do that in SQL Server. But you can do that with pandas too. It's possible. Even if you are using R, you can also achieve the same thing. Yeah.
Yes.
you can
Okay,
achieve.
that's it.
Could you go back on where you use the function you get Suburb?
Uh-huh.
Could you go back where you scroll up where you use the function you get Suburb?
Okay, let me use a find. Wait, I know the function. Suburb. Ish, it's going multiple. Yes, here.
Thank you. So I wanted to understand how you recite the data and the address form by applying focus apply.
Oh, okay, you have seen it now. Okay.
Yeah.
But don't worry, I will share the Jupyter notebook with you. All right. I think we can stop here for today. I'm also tired a bit. So, all right. So I hope you all enjoyed the. So there's still a lot to learn. Yeah. So it's a long journey. All right. So we'll continue. So what is going to happen is that tomorrow we devote it to doing the assignments. There's a number of them now, and also those that are new. I know some of you have the experience. You have been working with this kind of data, so you have been doing this kind of work. It's not a big deal, but some are extremely new, so just see how we can. All right, but just like I explained to you, so I'm just extending this geo-analytics because we have not finished now, so we'll continue on Wednesday, but this week will be the maximum date. So those of you that have not registered for the paid one, you can take time to register. At least you have tasted the lecture now. So you can see it's interactive. So we ask questions and we see there's a lot of opportunity for collaboration as well. And that's the aim. So we'll be able to collaborate and do major projects across Africa. All right. So I've posted a message, the account number. Those that are in Nigeria can pay. Those that are in South Africa can pay into that account. All right. So I have to call it a day. And we need to take the attendance. I don't know how best we can do that.
Thank you, sir.
All right. It's my pleasure. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right.